This is my Olympus OM-10 SLR, and I've used this several times in taking black and white pictures, and I'm really happy with it. It's it's not a very expensive camera. I have an OM2, and it works pretty much the same. This one has this really funky sort of Darth Vader thing. It's a speaker with a light, and it's just if you turn the dial up here, where it says check, it's a battery check, and it screams at you. The reason why I like this camera is you can just throw it in auto mode and it does everything. So right now I have it set in auto mode here, and you can see there's my film speed. If I was using 400, 100, it goes up to 1600 and down to 25. And you can go up and down exposure by turning this. It kind of has them right there. And then under the wind, there's a little switch here where you can change it to bulb, auto, and then manual adapter. Here's the shutter release button there. So if I crank it, there. And then I have the counter right here for the film. And as soon as you open it up, it goes back to 0. And it's pretty much, you load it. I mean, it's a fabric little shutter. And then you thread your film in there. Nothing too fancy. I tried to replace the light seals on this because when I got them it was pretty bad. And I buy it's like a $12 kit you can buy on eBay for the camera, and I'm just not very good at putting them in. I found some of the best things you can do on your own is use black yarn, and you can stuff it in the creases, and that's just as good. Instead of this foam with one sticky side and it rotates, and even now it's kind of hard to pop it open because it's hitting that sticky stuff. There is the wind with little arrows. You'd wind it that way, but you have to switch it over here and put it in reverse mode, because there's no release button here. You would just flip that like that, and that allows you to release it, and you can rewind it. It has a hot shoe on it, and this one is a 50mm lens. When I was in New York City, I took I think I have a 200mm lens or a 100mm lens, and I used that. So the lens itself, you control aperture on it. This one only goes up to 16. There's a little button down here to preview, right there. So you can see the aperture moving. And if you look in the camera, let's see, can't see it. You can see a little red dot right there. It's kind of big, but the shutter speed is automatic, and it tells you what it's doing with a little grid on the left-hand side. So I have it on. There's also a self-timer mode here, which I haven't used, but let me try it. Self-timer, cock. About 10 seconds. So that still works well. And of course you can change the, you can focus it here. And to remove the lens, you push them to two tabs and twist. And there's my mirror, which is fairly clean. My lens, however, has some debris in it. It's not a big concern. This is sort of my go-to play-to camera for black and white stuff. Because I can actually develop black and white on my own, whereas with color, I have to send it off. But I'm still learning how to, do things with black and white film. Anyway, this is the camera. And you can probably get this on eBay for maybe $50, maybe even less with one lens or no lens. I think I have 3 lenses for it. And it's just a really portable, no-nonsense camera. It does take a battery. There's the battery. And yeah. So one thing I forgot to mention was when you are looking through the viewfinder, there is the little focusing glass circle in the middle. So it does help you put things into focus by turning the focus wheel on your lens. I did forget to mention that, which is really helpful, which is why I like it. So my other camera, I did pull it out. It's the OM-10. You can see there's a slight difference in them. Pretty much the same body. The knobs are different. This one has a manual mode and an auto mode, and you can check the battery this does not make a sound like the other one. It just has a light, so you can check the battery. But manual, you can do whatever you want. Auto, it will not let you take pictures until everything is just right. And auto mode, of course, is indicated by you switch it to the red. You can always focus, but the reds line up. It puts it at 125th of a second, and pull this up to change the film sensitivity. Got the shutter there, same as the other one, and we have the number of exposures there, same as the other. We got the reverse, and the self-timers on the front, where the other one does not have it. And there's a little pouch here for if you want to put your film thing there. This also has a little screw where you can put thread of flash. It took me a while to figure out what the heck how you got it off. It's a little screw, you just screw it on. It's actually a little screw, it's 2 pieces. The bottom looks nearly the same. Here we have the battery compartment, the rewind, if you have one of those fancy auto rewinds instead of having to do it yourself. Put that back, so don't use that. And the battery this takes, actually, This is the one I'm talking about. The battery that this one takes, let me take this off. So you'll know what battery I'm using. This is taking a 2. Yes, 2. It takes 2. 357. These are some Duracell batteries. Let me clean off the contacts. And that's what helps you with the auto mode and everything. So really, that's it.